In this video, we're going to talk about the Kenai Peninsula and our experiences there. We were there, oh God, almost 3 weeks ago. We're in the middle of British Columbia now, filming this, heading south. So when we last spoke, we had left Turnagain Arm, which was below Anchorage, where we were watching the surfers come in on the tide, and we were going on to the Kenai Peninsula. And we are going to see a couple of spots where we just pulled over in parking lots on the side of the road and boondocked on the Kenai Peninsula. The first one was just a parking lot, but it was a huge parking lot, a nice place to stay. The second one was halfway to the city of Homer on the west side of the Kenai Peninsula. And we found this great spot. It was pouring rain, we're socked in clouds. We wake up in the morning, we're sitting on a cliff overlooking the Kenai Peninsula, and we have this row of volcanoes in front of us. John got to look at it before I did. You always get up earlier, right?
It was stunning. We weren't expecting to see that. As a rule, we stay in RV parks, but we couldn't find any room at the inn, so we used a pull-out, and when we woke up, it's just volcanoes everywhere. I can't believe the free spot we were in.
It was great. So then we're heading to Homer, but we weren't in a rush to get to Homer because our goal in Homer was to meet up with my brother Ross and his wife Debbie, who were going to meet us in Homer and hang out on the peninsula for a week. And we had like 3 days to get there. So we just randomly pulled into this RV park, and we practically had the place to ourselves. You'll see it in the video. He backs us like literally off by a cliff, and we're overlooking the ocean. It was just an incredible sight. Now, when we got there, on the way there, we did a couple of side trips, and one of them is called Anchor Point. And if you go on the Kenai Peninsula, you have to go to Anchor Point because that's where the eagles are. And you'll see great shots of eagles. I mean, one time we went there, we had 5 eagles just constantly surrounding us, flying. You'll see how close they got.
Just one note on that RV park. I can't remember the name of it, but pay attention to the name if you're an RVer and headed to Alaska, because that you can't find a better place.
Yeah, we did actually send it's in the video. We actually did send the a lead to one of the biggest RV couples that it happens to be in Alaska right now, and I knew they were in Alaska right now, so I told them, don't go into Homer and go into the KOA or some other big park. Stop here, stop short 15 miles, and go into this park. And they ended up doing it, so I'll be interested to see their segment on that. And it was just an incredible spot. But the Anchor Point is where you'll see the eagles. We eventually make it to Homer, and John and I immediately get out the bikes, and it's beautiful weather, so we're riding up and down the Homer Spit. It's only 4 miles long. The 4 miles out is really easy, but you go to this place called what's it called? The bar at the end of Homer Spit. Anyway, you have a couple of glasses of wine. It makes it harder to get back to the car.
Yeah, they'll see it.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Everybody goes there.
Everybody goes there. We bought pounds and pounds, like what, $200 or $300 worth of halibut. We're still eating it.
Great fishing trip. You just pull it out of the freezer. It was swimming around the day before.
That was definitely a good idea. We completely stocked the freezer full.
It's about an $800 savings over taking an all-day trip fishing. So.
Yeah. So we just went to we just went right to where they were pulling it out of the water and bought it there. While we were in Homer, we did a boat ride across the way to a glacier where you'll see us go for a long hike. My brother Ross, he wasn't feeling very, very well, but he really trudged his way through this hike. It was supposed to be like a 3-mile hike, but the tide was so low they couldn't let us off at this trailhead on this area. So we had to hike down this rocky, sandy beach for a mile just to get to the trailhead. And then the hike was just way more than we had sold someone who really wasn't in the mood to go on a big hike that day. But it's extraordinary. Wait till you see the icebergs and what we saw when we got there.
I'm really glad that we took that hike. That was, I think we were pushing Ross a little. We didn't know it was going to be that bad, but a really, really nice trick. The only thing is the return. It was kind of hanging off a cliff, and there's the end of the trail, and we're supposed to jump off a cliff into the ocean and wait for this water taxi to come get us. But I don't know. We lived.
Yeah, it was something. Anything else noteworthy in Homer? The flowers. It's the capital of the world, the peony capital of the world.
Oh, that's
and everywhere you go, there's peonies, and it was peony month, and so you'll see a lot of boring pictures of flowers, but the reason is that's their claim to fame. Even on the bike trails, they have stamps of peonies everywhere, so that was fun.
The flowers and the vegetables are kind of an exaggerated size, and I think it's summertime where they have their 24-hour days of sunlight, and they just grow differently. But one other thing we noticed on the bar we hung out on in Homer just for a day. It's a bar where you have to tell everybody you've been to. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what the name of it is. But we shared a table with a couple, and it was another couple that we've met now that were in that shooting in Las Vegas, the mass shooting.
Small world.
And she was nicked in the knee by a bullet and covered in everybody's blood, but she explained her harrowing experience getting out of there. So it was just interesting to...
Yeah, another interesting person we met with an interesting life story. Yeah, and we've continued to keep up with a lot of our friends along the way. You're going to see more of that. You'll see our trip over to Valdez, which was the best thing we could have done. We went across we had to go off the peninsula and then back into Anchorage through Palmer and then down to Valdez. An extraordinary drive, which on the way, Ross is now behind us in an RV, and we couldn't make it to Valdez in one shot. So we just, again, pulled over on the side of the road on a river, and I got a couple of really good drone shots of our perch there. So that was fun. No wildlife, though, there.
No, Homer, we had a lot of rain, but since we're from California, we never see rain, so it was actually kind of exciting to see the rain for a few days. But our worst day of winter wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was cold. Then so we went to Valdez. Valdez was socked in most of the time we were there. What you're going to see there is bears. We did a lot of bear watching, a lot of eagles. We went in a boat out to a proceeding glacier, and it's proceeding at a very rapid rate. The pilot was showing us, the boat was showing us just how far they expect it to be just in 10 years. It's just growing. Glaciers either melt faster than they grow or grow faster than they melt. And there's two there. Again, you'll see the name of it. It was like the Piers, something like that. I don't know. You'll see that. But that was fun. We got a beautiful shot of a humpback whale came up right next to the boat, and man, I got the fluke great there. So you'll see
and otters everywhere just hanging out in the water.
Oh, huge otters, and I got several shots of the otters with the babies on their stomach. So that was cute. I got one where the mother just throws the otter off her stomach.
We didn't get enough film of that boat trip because it was raining so hard the whole time. We were soaking wet and cold all the time, so plus our lenses were getting wet. But anyway, still a fun trip. Glad we did it.
Yeah, we left Valdez. Ross and Debbie left before we did. We stayed another day. We came back through that absolutely incredible strip you're going to see out of Valdez. Great waterfalls, the best waterfalls we've seen so far. There's so many waterfalls, we can't just keep taking pictures of them. And then we did the
one of the waterfalls. We climbed up to a perch, so we're kind of we thought we can't do that, and then we looked back and thought, how are we going to get back down sliding through the mud? But anyway,
I did slide down through the mud.
Obviously, we're alive, so we made it.
Yeah, I won't fall down, so I just sit in the mud and slide down.
Well, I'm not walking around mud on my ass all day. So.
I did. So you'll see that in Valdez, and then I think I'll stop the video there. There's a separate video of us driving from Valdez to Tok. No, I guess the separate video I did that I put up, you'll see it on the YouTube channel, is from Tok through a place called Destruction Bay to Haines Junction. And it's absolutely the worst thing we've been through so far. And we've done top of the world up in the Yukon, where we're dirt for days. Nothing is worse than this.
That was like riding through the wilderness with 22,000 pounds pulling it through there. But anyway,
you couldn't go over 20 miles an hour most of the time, and we could, continue to just go 20 miles an hour so many places because we've already busted a leaf spring. You know, these tires are getting to the end, so we're taking it very easy, trying to get home, but it's going to take a while. There's not going to be a lot of video between Haines Junction and where we are now. I got sick and just wasn't in the mood to video or make videos, so I just had a cold, so I'm at the end of the cold. So you're not going to see a lot
We should cut it.
content. No, we're at 10 minutes. We're okay. And right now we're in a provincial park. Second one. These parks they're $20 a night. They're incredible. Well, the bears aren't there right now, but you'll see the bears in a future video. And is there anything else we missed?
I think
Bears,
that's it.
eagles, fish, a lot of fish. I think that's it.
We got a long drive today. So
Yeah, we have a big
rolling.
long drive today to Prince. We're going to try to make it to Prince George or someplace close. I think it's 400 miles away, but again, we don't know if the road ahead is a 40-mile-an-hour road or a 55-mile-an-hour road or a 20-mile-an-hour road. So we just play it by ear and always be prepared to pull over on the side of the road and spend the night.
You get comfortable on some of these roads, and then there's a giant frost heave, and it launches you. So I don't want to be buying new suspension again.
Yep. Okay. So if there's anything you want to know, put it in the comments. And I've asked John to put together a informative piece of information we can share with you later on what it costs to do this trip. You know, if you want to do this, and some tips on what we learned along the way. The number one thing is be flexible and be flexible. So.
You need a lot of time for this.
A lot of time and a lot of flexibility. You just got to hang when you can hang and enjoy the ride. So, yesterday we did a side trip to the city of Hyder. We thought we were done with Alaska now that we're down in British Columbia. We did a side trip out to the city of Hyder, Stewart and Hyder. We're off the Stewart-Cassiar Highway. So we went out there and saw this grizzly bear just going bonkers. So you're going to see that. You'll also see these two babies that are playing out here in the water behind me. That they seem to be used to all the people. So, and I look forward to finishing up this video and putting together something interesting with the little bit of footage I have as we are dropping down through Canada back into Washington. This is what it looks like when you just pull over on the side of the road and set up camp. We've been parked on Turnagain Arm all day, enjoying a nice spot on the water, and now we are driving up the currently low tide bay, and we're going to climb up a little bit up into these hills past the Whittier turnoff toward the city of Seward, where we happen to know there's a nice big lot we can park in. That is kind of an overbuilt rest area up there to spend the night and enjoy a nice barbecue. Moving up there somewhere. We found a monster rest area / snowmobile staging area up in the mountains, and I got it pretty level, but it's so pretty right here, so that works out well, and it's free. Well, we just got up from our little roadside rest area where we spent the night. And there's a trail here. It's the beginning of a large mountain bike trail. We've seen some pretty worn out people coming off of it yesterday and this morning. Anyway, so we thought we'd stretch our legs before we get in the car. Anyway, really pretty here. I took some drone shots over this yesterday, which I'm sure will be included somewhere there. But we're on Turnagain Pass, headed toward today Homer direction. We're on the road towards Seward right now, but we'll be taking the turn off and heading over to the Kenai and Soldotna and eventually Homer. But this is what this part of the drive looks like if you are inclined to want to know. Found this little pullout with a huge field in front of it. Looks like it'll take us out to a point where we can go look at all these volcanoes that are across the Cook Inlet from us. One active as recently as... Let's go see what we can see out here. a spit out there going into the ocean. And that's where we're headed. Okay, we're standing at the end of Homer Spit, which is the absolute southernmost point you can hit the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. Lots of cool glaciers over there in those valleys that we tend to explore. That's where we are. So there's the main marina and restaurant tourist area on Homer Spit. That is 4 miles long. You get an idea how long that is here in the shot. Really clear today. We're still out here alone on our perch. So pretty. Ross is about to land and start the drive here. Wow. I can't wait. What an adventure. It's so clear today in Homer. We might get another chance at a clear day like this, and it's just great. And we're headed back out onto the spit. Well, we're about to hook up and pull out of our perch here today. It has been a great stay, and I wanted to make sure for anybody that's traveling the Kenai Peninsula, just above Homer, we're near Whiskey Gulch. We are not on the beach. We're up on the most fabulous view where all the eagles hang out, and bears and moose. And I highly promote Whiskey Cabins and RV. This is a really great place. It doesn't get any better. And if you just want to rent a cabin here, you can do that too. So really sad to go. I love this place and the owners and everything they do. headed over for a glacier hike. Ross is on the bow, holding it down. Sean and Debbie are inside. So we've come across the water from Homer to hike up to a glacial lake, but the tide is so low, the boat couldn't take us to the end of the trail. So he dropped us off about a mile short of the trail. So we're hiking down the beach with all the other people that have taken water taxis over here until we find the trailhead. So, nice day to be stranded in a place you didn't plan on going. We've started our walk to the glacial lake. It's about 3 miles and it's a really nice trail. It's really pretty. They had a pit toilet when we got into the woods here, so that was a pleasant surprise if anybody's coming to do this. Some video, I'll try to remember the name of the glacier we're walking to. But right now I'm just trying to keep up the pace so we catch the pickup boat at 2:30. This is the end of the trail at the lake. I would think they are. We're closer to the icebergs here. They're so pretty. Okay, we just came out at the glacier lake and it's full of icebergs. It is incredible. This is incredible. The glacier's just right here at the end of the lake. It's really great. Just finished a fantastic walk. I'm not sure where. Oh, my hair looks great. What's left of my hair that's falling out is looking just fabulous.
You should film Ross and Debbie enjoying their hike.
Yeah, Ross and Debbie are coming down through this rock scramble right now. So we're sitting here waiting for our pickup boat. We really encourage you to come do this. This is our view right now. We're sitting here on our sit-upons with our Gatorade, waiting for our ride. We just came down to see the starfish at low tide, and they're just coming up everywhere. They're just everywhere. That was pretty. Wow. Here, I gotta zoom in on some of these. They're just on the pilings like this. A bunch back there. end of Homer's Pit. We're Land's End. Yeah.
Don't forget your phone.
Well, we ended up with 9 pounds of halibut, fresh halibut, flash frozen, a couple of salmon fillets to get us down the road, remembering this great fish that we've had in Homer. Leaving Homer. Rock right on the other side of the come to Alaska, you need to be ready for road work. They work very hard at keeping these roads up to speed. But they do have to work on the roads, so you spend a lot of time waiting in line and following pilot cars. This particular detour probably set us back 20 minutes today, but that's all included in our daily plans. We're about 50 miles from Valdez, Alaska, driving what is touted to be one of the prettiest highways in Alaska. And I have to say, really impressed. Really is. Just look up pink fireweed on the side of the road. We've got glaciers surrounded by lush green forests. We are driving into a storm of sorts, a rainstorm. Nothing but a lot of rain for the next couple of days. pulled over because one of our guidebooks told us to look at this gorge. And although it's not the biggest gorge, it sure is pretty. It has some great features. What a pretty place to stop. It's raging down there with a pretty shot from here down the road of what I'm guessing is Worthington Glacier. We're not there yet. You can see we're coming up on a big glacier up ahead. Very pretty stop. 37 miles from Valdez. We're heading up now about 40 miles out of Valdez to Thompson Pass. This is going to be full of waterfalls and views and maybe some animals. But I thought I'd just start recording because it looked like it was going to be really pretty here when we crested this part of the climb. And boy, it is not disappointing, is it? I mean, how pretty is that? Do you feel like you're on a road trip with us? You're supposed to feel like you're just with us. With no music, because there's no satellite coverage here. How pretty. We're now about 16 miles away from Valdez, and we are coming into the waterfall area. So we expect to see a lot. Still looking for animals out here in the water fishing. We have yet to see anything. You can already see some waterfalls up on the side of the mountain. But it's so pretty here today, and this is a stormy day, and it's not raining yet, so we're going to continue to enjoy the day out here. So pretty. It's around the corner. Just more pretty. You can pause here and read this. It's an interesting story about this railroad tunnel to connect Valdez to the rest of the world with railroad. But they all got into a pissing match, and they started the tunnel, and the pissing match ended in, well, then nobody's building it. And so this railroad tunnel was started and abandoned. It says it was carved by hand. I'm gonna have to go read about that, not so sure. I mean, come on, dynamite had to have something to do with this. The beauty of this Valdez highway is ridiculous. You know, we're looking ahead, we're all excited. We just came from Bridal Veil Falls right here. We just start picking up speed, and then we see this. This is Horsetail Falls, and I'm not even walked back to it yet. But this is really spectacular, the way it fans out across the hill here. Really pretty. Look at that. It just never stops giving. Never stops giving. Ah. There's your bear. The bear is right here. Okay, close the window. We're still at the fish hatchery, where you can see all those salmon waiting to go upstream. Look at them. Trying there. It's like shooting fish in a barrel here. They're all fighting to get on the ladder. It's exciting. It's fishing. Otter, the baby. Ross, this one for sure has got one in her tummy. Look. See it? This is the Mears Glacier.
Yeah. Jo. Jetzt kommt die Welle.
All right, we got some pretty significant calving going on at 9 o'clock here, just right off the port bow.
Okay, Ross and Debbie are getting ready to drive back to Anchorage. They're going to take 2 days to do it and head back home. Not worrying about us on the road for the next month, working our way back. We had a fun time. Here goes Ross and Debbie, headed back to California via Anchorage Ted Stevens Airport. Cute little bear. Can't believe he's venturing out. It's like the bears at Katmai. I'm taking this video across Valdez Arm, just past the fish hatchery. That is the city of Valdez straight across. And this is the bay. We're driving away from the end of the Alaskan pipeline up the east side of the Valdez Bay toward the area of their salmon fishing hatchery
and the place where we keep seeing all the bears, which of course is really close to that hatchery.